Alright everybody, welcome to the Extreme Rules pre-show, coming to you live on April 28, 2012. This is the FTW podcast, the wrestling world in all its laughable glory. I am Harrison, and with me as always is Joe. Say hello, Joe.
Hello, people.
Scott from the Lethal Injection podcast. Hey, say hi, Scott.
Howdy.
And we got Mike, the SmackDown specialist from PW Torch here as well. Say hi, Mike.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And Garvin is manning the board. If you're new to the show, check out ftwpodcast.com for more about us and how to get involved in today's show, as well as all of our upcoming regular shows. You can reach out to us on Twitter, Facebook, voicemail, text message, and email. So if you want your voice to be heard, that's how you do it. We're just going to dive right in. I mean, there's no real news, nothing new happening as far as in the wrestling world that has to concern with the pay-per-view. The rest of the show, the rest of the stuff, we're going to wait until when we record on Tuesday and go live then, so it'll wait until then. But for right now, Extreme Rules coming up tomorrow. Going into the pay-per-view, who's excited? I mean, do you think that WWE has done a pretty good job of pumping up the idea of this is the one night a year, other than tables, ladders, and chairs, where you have like Extreme Rules and hardcore matches? Joe, what do you think?
I think they've done a decent job. It's become Extreme Rules isn't really the like breakout and blowout thing that it used to be. Now it's just another gimmick, and that's kind of what sucks because everyone's like, "Oh, it's Extreme Rules." Okay, whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think that one of the big problems with this pay-per-view is a lot of rematches from WrestleMania.
Yeah, CM Punk and Jericho, Sheamus and Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton and Kane. I mean, yeah, a lot of these are rematches from
Big Show and Rhodes.
Big Show and Rhodes. Basically, over half the card is is basically the fallout from WrestleMania.
One, maybe Santino two matches. And Miz, they faced each other at WrestleMania.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, in the the team, Team Johnny versus Team.
But that one I'll give the WWE because it was, instead of just this 6-on-6 gimmick match, it's now a one-on-one competition. But then again, it's thrown off to the YouTube pre-show. Yeah, YouTube. But yeah, I don't know. That's my problem is that you want to make everything extreme. Just call it fucking Backlash like it used to be, because that made more sense. It's the Backlash from WrestleMania.
Yeah, especially when you look at it, there's only really one Extreme Rules booked match. I mean, yeah, the Chicago Street Fight's kind of like that, but the only real Extreme Rules match is Lesnar versus Cena. That's it. Everything else is 2 out of 3 falls. Well, we don't know what Big Show and Cody Rhodes is going to be, but I mean, falls count anywhere. I mean, it's only one. At least with Money in the Bank, you got 2 Money in the Bank matches. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. What do you think, Mike?
I feel the same way that Joe feels. It's a lot of rehash matches. Yeah, just go back to calling it Backlash. That made sense. And I'm looking forward to certain matches, but right now I still feel some WrestleMania hangover. I just know that this is a slow down period until the summer when things kind of start kicking up again. It seems like a lame duck period right now for WWE.
Yeah, they're starting to coast.
Yeah, with the exception of Brock Lesnar coming back in. Normally this is the time of year where, nothing really happens until June or July.
Well, yeah, but mostly the only thing that happens now is people are getting cut. We're just not seeing that. Yeah. Which is weird. I mean, usually you would see like 5 to 10 people axed from the roster. I mean, the one that we talked about a lot was, unfortunately, Yoshitatsu. I'm amazed the guy's still around because they do not care about that guy, especially after his loss. I mean, Scott, what do you think? I mean, are you disappointed with how Extreme Rules is kind of playing out this year, or no?
Well, not really. I mean, like Joe was saying, it's essentially become a gimmick pay-per-view. So, while I would love the idea for Backlash to come back. I would only like it if they brought back the pendulum. Or no, God damn it, I can't talk. The pendulums. Because that was like the coolest thing about Backlash was to watch those swinging pendulums kind of come around. But
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, but unfortunately they're digitalizing all their arenas now, so they'll probably never do that unless they do some cheesy digital version of it. But card-wise, this is pretty much exactly what I would expect for an after WrestleMania pay-per-view. I mean, things are kind of calming down. They're finishing out a lot of these storylines that have persisted through WrestleMania, and outside of like the Brock Lesnar versus John Cena match, I think ultimately this is just kind of like a stopping point for some of these feuds so they can actually start doing fresh new ideas.
Yeah, speaking of which, the one I wanted to get you and Mike's opinion on this because I've gone on record many, many times saying that CM Punk versus Jericho. I'm so sick of the storyline. We haven't had you guys on in a while. I mean, what do you think, especially coming out of WrestleMania? I mean, Jericho is 0 for 3 on big matches so far. I mean, do you see him coming out with a victory at Extreme Rules?
Jericho really doesn't need to win this match to still be Jericho. I mean, it's just he's one of those guys where he can bank on his name alone. I think the storyline-wise, though, has totally degraded what this match could have been. This really bad writing on WWE's part, and I've pretty much openly bashed WWE about that on Twitter after the whole sobriety test thing, which was absolutely ridiculous. It's a terrible storyline, and it's a real shame for two guys who are just as talented as they are to have their match be degraded by such a shitty storyline.
What do you think, Mike? Do you think it's been a crap storyline?
Yeah, I think it has been. And for someone like Jericho who always claims, I'll come back when I have this great idea to come back and really revolutionize and change everything, this has been just such a kind of a boring storyline, kind of very predictable. And I mean, I'm looking forward to their match. I know that those two guys can bring it in the ring. But yeah, this storyline has just been it's been nonsense. I haven't really cared for it too much.
You know what, Mike? That's pretty much. I think that's my problem with it. Is you're right. I mean, Jericho has said over and over and over again that when he comes back, it's going to be to change everything. And even when he did come back, the first thing he talked about was the end of the world and all that stuff. And with the promo, why do you think he came back? Because obviously this storyline has just been just subpar the entire time.
And
I can't.
It's been so one-sided too.
Yeah.
Well, when the free fall It was the game show he did. When that money dried up, he needed to do something.
That was so bad.
It was
he
horrible.
got money for that?
I imagine he did.
Terrible.
Then he
better
had his
have gotten
Dancing
money.
with the Stars money.
That's true.
Let's be honest. Fozzy is not paying the bills. There's no way in hell that's happening.
No way at all.
Man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to them touring with Metallica next year.
And the rumor is that this Jericho Punk feud might keep going through the summer until Jericho finally leaves.
I hear that Fozzie's opening for Angry Mixtape.
I see what you did there.
Yep, there's a plug for you, Scott.
Okay, so that's the thing. I have my patience has run out on this storyline. It was only because when he came back, everyone that we have had on the show and us have correctly predicted the trajectory of Jericho since he came back. We were talking about, okay, he's going to have a feud with CM Punk. There's going to be a match at WrestleMania. I mean, we knew what was happening, and so it's become so tired, and I can't think for the life of me why Jericho and CM Punk are in this storyline. It's just I don't get it. I mean, to what? Put CM Punk over? The guy was on ESPN for crying out loud.
Mm-hmm. Part of me felt that after that 24 hours between WrestleMania and Raw the next night, I thought CM Punk was done with Jericho with the way he just decisively beat him at WrestleMania. I don't really see the point of this match that's happening Sunday. I don't know why they're bothering with it.
So who do you think? I mean, because I've said that basically at this point, Jericho has to win. You have all the classic ingredients of a WWE championship loss there. The guy's holding the belt. He's in his hometown. It's a pay-per-view. He's won the two matches previous to this one. Jericho has to win. I mean, he's got three big losses over the big matches he's had coming in since he's come back. He's barely been on TV. It's always been, he's been on the Jumbotron essentially all the time. Mm-hmm. He's got to come out with a victory, right? I mean, Joe, Rob, James, everybody else was saying that's not the case. So, what do you guys think, Scott and Mike? Do you think that he has to have a win, or because Mike, you said he didn't. You said that he could still lose and still come out on top.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to win, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did win, to be honest, but he doesn't need it. And I think CM Punk will come out on top on Sunday. I think CM Punk will go against the odds and actually win in his hometown again.
Not to mention the fact that if Jericho does win the belt, it'll be more of a question as will he make it out of Chicago alive? Chicago is a very raw town, and especially when it comes to their wrestling and their CM Punk. So I would not be surprised if there is rioting and ultimately death if Jericho
By
walks out with
Scott's
the belt.
hands.
Well, not necessarily, but I'll be the one holding up the torch going, yeah, kill the motherfucker!
That's the thing. I mean, I can understand what you're saying, and I forget who said it on Tuesday. Said that basically, if Punk loses, that whatever match comes up. I mean, if the Punk Jericho match is before Lesnar Cena, if Punk loses, you've killed the crowd for the main event because they're just going to be pissed. And the thing is, yeah, and the other thing is that you got to remember is Chicago is like Madison Square Garden. It's not the typical wrestling fan. It's us. We bought tickets for these for at these locations. So you got guys that, I mean, the crowd thanks the wrestlers by name, not by their gimmick, not by whatever. So yeah, I can see that CM Punk has to win just because, you know.
So are people in Chicago chanting "Thank you, Phil" to CM Punk, or is it? No.
Well, the thing is, I just can't shake it though that Jericho coming out of here, he's got to have some kind of upper hand on Punk because it's just been Punk winning all the time. Every match it's been on the win. Every match he's won. Every promo, Punk's come out on top. I mean, why would Jericho? I mean, well, does the feud need the heat? Basically, I mean,
what needs to end is what it needs to do.
I agree. This is
the bottom line.
Yeah.
It's way too long, and it's been too one-sided. Every match has been Punk. This last win should be Punk, and that will be it.
And then what's the point of Jericho coming back? He comes back, says he's going to change the world, loses 3 major matches against one guy. Well, I mean,
it's helping hype Punk as actually being best in the world. When you had a guy who beat Stone Cold and Rock in the same night to become the first undisputed champion, and a short year or so ago was calling himself the best in the world at what he does, it's logical escalation that you will have these two face off when Punk's saying he's best in the world. It makes sense. That being said, Jericho ain't won shit. So yeah, it's very apparent. This should be the brush off match. This should be it. This is the end. This is where they can get violent if all the matches are going to be Extreme Rules, or I don't know. I foresee this match being the one. This is the last time we're going to see it. Jericho can move on to something else, or he can go back to Fozzy, and Punk can move on to another feud.
But that's the thing. Oh, I'm sorry, Scott. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. And to kind of piggyback on that point, though, if Brock Lesnar ultimately ends up destroying Cena, as everyone seems to think he's going to do, it would open up the possibility of having CM Punk versus Brock Lesnar for the title, which I think would be a damn good feud.
That would be brilliant.
Well, yeah, but the problem I have with this, though, is that the idea of Jericho needing to put Punk over. I mean, the guy was over. I mean, hands down. I mean, Punk was probably, with the exception of John Cena, the biggest superstar that WWE has at the time, right now. And the idea of Jericho coming back to put this guy over, I mean, how much more heat can you give CM Punk? I mean, he was interviewed on ESPN for crying out loud. When he cut that shoot promo, that's what did it for him. That shoot promo he cut in June. Was it June or July?
And June.
Yeah, so why would Jericho need to come back to basically lose 3 matches to put CM Punk over when, I mean, Punk went from heel to face, like, instantly.
Well, so, I think the biggest problem with that, though, is that, like, the way that WWE has basically handled CM Punk's title reign, it's been actually kind of mediocre because a lot of times he's either not on Raw or he'll come on and do a segment and leave. The way that he's been presented as a champion has almost been secondary, considered like a lot of like the Rock versus John Cena stuff and all the other feuds and plots that they've put on these shows. It almost seems like he's holding the title more as a placeholder than anything else. And I think beating Jericho, at least definitively, and getting this feud out of the way, kind of at least shows why he's holding the title.
Mm-hmm. And I agree. And I think what CM Punk needs is he needs to be facing these tippy top guys instead of guys like Alberto Del Rio and who else? The Miz and now Chris Jericho, guys who are like at the top, but they're not top guys right now. He needs to go in there and he needs to beat guys like John Cena or Randy Orton right now, get in feuds with them, and have them put CM Punk over more definitively.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I don't. I think you hold off on Punk and Lesnar until maybe WrestleMania next year. I wouldn't have them. I wouldn't have those guys have any kind of match unless it was at towards the end of Brock's run. I would stick Brock with guys like John Cena, Randy Orton, maybe some of the maybe someone like Mark Henry or Kane, some of those like bigger wrestlers. I would have him stick with, and then at the end maybe put CM Punk over, put John Cena over at WrestleMania.
Do you think WWE has enough confidence in CM Punk to actually have a WrestleMania main event with Brock Lesnar, though?
Yeah,
I don't think they do. I could see maybe SummerSlam, but I don't know about WrestleMania.
You know what? I'm looking at WrestleMania, looking a year ahead. Why not repeat Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg, but do it with Ryback? You think I'm kidding, dude? Look at the size of this guy. I could see the two big dudes going at it like that.
Not gonna happen.
Vince McMahon sees two big dudes all the time going at it.
Chat saying they think they're pushing Punk to get him to the popularity that Cena is reaching, but to a different audience, basically to us. I mean, would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, he's already pretty much well over with the IWC, so...
Yeah, once again, back in June. So I don't understand why Jericho needs to be brought in the mix at all. It seems like such a weird, unnecessary, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's so unnecessary to have this feud between Punk and Jericho, because it's like, I mean, who are you trying to reach? What are you trying to build? I mean, Jericho isn't, like Mike was saying, get him against these top-tier guys. Get him against John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, not Jericho.
WWE just wants to have an American go over a Canadian. That's all it is. That's all about.
I'm not saying anything bad about Canada. They have burned down our White House. Okay, so is there anything else about CM Punk or Jericho, or can we put this discussion to bed and start talking about the rest of the card?
Put it to bed. Let's
get rid of it. All right, so the next one up that I want to talk about is Randy Orton versus Kane. Falls Count Anywhere match. This is the rubber match. This feud. Do you see this feud going on after this, especially after they brought back Paul Bearer, only to then kill him within 10 minutes?
I hope this match ends in the freezer.
You just see Paul Bearer now. Oh yes, freedom!
Paul Bearer walks out, locks the door so they can't get out.
Wait, guys.
Paul Bearer wins.
Guys, arena freezers aren't Narnia. They don't all connect. Paul Bearer was put in a freezer in a completely different location. Just because he put in one freezer doesn't mean he's going to show up in all of them.
But it's all in the same WWE universe, though.
That's true. So according to you guys, in the WWE universe, all arena freezers are Schrodinger's cat, is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
The door is shut. Paul Bearer could be alive or could be dead. We don't know.
Katie Vick's probably in there, so I mean...
All right, but seriously though, I mean, do you see this feud going on after this?
I just want to say that Paul Bearer is going to live forever because he's got himself out of concrete. From the wheelchair off that balcony in that parking structure that last time when it was Edge and Kane fighting. Now he's fighting through ice. I mean,
he can't be stopped. He's Megatron.
He's it's going to be him versus Ryback, Terminator. I think
Paul Bearer winning.
Screw Super Cena. We got Super Bearer.
Yes.
Oh my God! I want to see Paul Bearer versus Ryback WrestleMania 29. Make it happen.
Make it happen. Yeah.
There's your main event.
Awesome.
Hold on.
Go on.
Siren.
That's fine.
Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just going to say, I mean, I up until this week, I would have said this feud is dead.
Paul Bearer changes the world.
He did. Really. I mean, I saw this and I was like, wow, now we're starting to see, because at that point, the Randy Orton character kind of turned a corner. He became that edgy guy that he used to be.
I think Kane nullified that, though, by simply just not giving a shit. That's just the bottom line. He just didn't care. I don't know. I don't really see this feud continuing too much further, if not maybe like another pay-per-view match. But outside of that, I just don't I don't see it going. I mean, wrestling-wise, they can work a match. They're really good at that. But promo-wise, I've actually been more impressed with Kane than I have been with Orton. I mean, Kane, he's really started...
He's turning into a cartoon supervillain.
He is. He's got
puns.
that. Seriously.
He's one of you guys, he really understands his character and what he needs to say on the mic and how to cut that monster promo.
Next time, Gadget. Next.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's been perfect at his role, and like the way that he's talking now, I almost feel a little seduced. I almost feel like Kane is raping me verbally. So he's doing a really good job, and I would like to see Kane in a better position, really. But
with that thought in mind, how soon do we see Kane dating AJ?
He's got to work his way through the divas, right?
Chat brought up a really good point just now. Orton doesn't even look interested, and he doesn't. He looks bored.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's him in a face run.
Yeah, well,
I'm
it is
serious. That's how he is.
Yeah, he's so just.
He's a bag of dicks.
I think he just needs to take some time off. Just get off camera.
No, Joe, he's not a bag of dicks. Dicks have a pulse. He's a bag of dildos. Just boring plastic.
Good call. Good call.
All right, what do you think, Mike? I mean, do you see this feud going on?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's going to go on one more month. Randy Orton will maybe pick up the win tomorrow night, and they'll have that third match next month. Unfortunately.
See, but at the same time, okay, fine. So Kane is obviously on a hot streak. You can see he's almost at the point where he's going to make a major turn in his character and be like a really, really great heel. If he's not feuding with Randy Orton, who the hell is he going to feud with? There is nobody at that level on SmackDown that's a face.
Ryback.
It's Orton. Ryback. But I mean, other than
can't
Ryback,
be the answer to every one of the questions. Damn it!
Sure it can. It may not be right. Sure it can.
He is 42. You can answer everything with Ryback. No, seriously. I mean, who would you have Kane feud with? There's nobody on there. SmackDown
Kelly.
SmackDown has a. God damn it, Joe. I mean, there's nobody over there unless you had Cena drafted to SmackDown. Even then, I don't know.
Yeah, that happened. That happened for about 30 seconds.
That's under the assumption that these freaking brands even matter anymore. I mean, ever since they had, with Laurinaitis basically being the GM of both shows, they haven't really stuck to the rosters at all. Okay. I don't even think that rosters matter at this point.
Okay, then who would? I mean, look, basically the chat's saying if Kane wins, the feud continues, which is probably the case.
Have him take on fucking Funkasaurus, Brodus Clay. I mean, Brodus Clay can't be doing this whole squash match crap or DQ match for the longest time. And, I don't see them continuing with Dolph Ziggler and freaking Swagger forever. I mean, put the most comic book face character that they have, this dancing crazy fat man, versus the most craziest comic book villain that they got. I think you have a really good cartoony, silly feud going there.
What I'm waiting for is for Hornswoggle to turn on Brodus, and then you end up having Hornswoggle dress up like Kane, but then he's got the thing like I'm Kane, the voice box thing. That would be epic.
Hey, thanks for stopping by the show today, Joe.
Hey, no problem.
No,
I'll be here till Tuesday. Try the veal.
Scott brings up a really good point. I mean, it's like when originally you were talking about it, I gotta say I kind of like that idea of having two comic book cartoony caricatures going at it. Would be kind of interesting. I mean, they got two of the best. I'm sorry.
Oh, you get the kids hyped up for it. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean they got two of the best ring entrances going on right now. So I mean, you got that going.
And then they could introduce Kane's mother as a character.
Because he has to call his mom.
For that.
Isn't she dead?
I don't know.
No, because no, she didn't die.
How the hell is Brodus going to call his mama then?
No, no, hang on. Wait, Kane's parents died, but no, wait, Paul Bearer.
Taker's parents
died.
Paul Bearer and Undertaker's mother are Kane's parents.
Yes.
And Undertaker's parents are dead.
I can't believe we're having a paradox moment here. Why is this?
They were killed. They were killed in the funeral home fire that either Kane or the Undertaker set that still hasn't been
resolved,
definitively decided upon.
And that's got to be the feud. That's got to be the storyline they end when Taker's career ends. I mean, that would be the best storyline ending right there. Is that they find out like Kane said it, so Taker's like, "I'm gonna take you out or take me out," and then or whatever. But
so who did it? Vince McMahon?
Yeah, to get them because he knew that how much money they would make him. So he burned down the funeral home and killed his parents.
It's either that or it's DDP. He comes out with a stalker gimmick. Sarah Taker.
Bang!
Michelle McCool was just looking for the insurance money.
Diamond upside down's a pussy. All right.
Michelle Taker. Okay, so Big Show, Cody Rhodes. I'm really looking forward to this match. I hope Cody gets the win. I don't know. I mean, Cody doesn't at this point. Cody doesn't even need the belt for me to be an awesome heel. But this should be a really good match, regardless of what it comes out with, unless they do something stupid with it, like we were talking about the pre-show, a chokeslam competition,
a body slam contest.
Yeah,
I really hope that doesn't happen. That'd be so terrible.
Well,
I'm half joking, but I can see it happening.
Just to make it kind of a fun gimmick, yeah.
Yeah, just to humiliate Cody a little bit, and give everyone kind of that like feel good moment with the Big Show beating him.
So I mean, the story. Okay, so the feud between these two, it's going to continue after this pay-per-view.
Maybe not, because I mean they just had on SmackDown with Big Show basically messing with Alberto Del Rio. I think that was basically WWE's way of saying that there is that potential that they'll kind of arc off from the storyline a bit, and I really do hope they do that because Cody Rhodes is a little silly in this storyline, and it's kind of demeaning his character more than anything else. He's a real talented guy, and you're right, he doesn't need the belt to be that guy, but he also doesn't need to have consistent stupid moments. So
no, that's true.
What about getting Alberto Del Rio involved? Getting some other guys involved, then doing a ladder match at, let's say, the next pay-per-view after Extreme Rules. Like a 4 or 6 man, kind of like a Money in the Bank kind of thing.
Oh, God, don't suggest that. They'll use Khali.
Right.
Well, I think they're already...
I'm expecting a Alberto Del Rio loss, but a Ricardo Rodriguez win. I would love to see him actually hold some titles.
Joe, I gotta agree with you. I don't want to, but I'm gonna.
I unfortunately have to agree as well.
Right?
It'd be pretty awesome. The only way that I would be happy to see Big Show and Great Khali in a ladder match like that is if you had Great Khali actually climb onto Big Show's back and reach up to grab the title. Yeah, instead of actually needing a ladder, they just kind of use their combined height to grab the title.
Do that, but Big Show falters and Hornswoggle climbs up them both to get it.
So it would be like a 16-foot tall chicken fight, like in a pool. Big Show is clearly the trunk of that. I mean,
I think we should throw Ryback in there as well.
Okay, so Garvin brought up a really good point. We've already had our good feelings moment with Big Show earlier, before with the video packages, which I thought would be great if they kept going. So it'd be like a Russian nesting doll where he's like, hey, remember this? And he just keeps showing videos of him showing videos of him showing videos of Cody Rhodes getting humiliated. And eventually to where it gets like a 5-minute long segment. I don't know why. That would just make me laugh hysterically. But basically, Garvin says if Cody doesn't win the title back, it might put him in a position to move up, which is what I'm thinking. Get him out of the feud with Big Show, away from the IC belt. Let's start throwing him in lower in the card. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I think they might put Big Show over tomorrow night and kind of put Cody Rhodes in a cool down period until around Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. Kind of a tangent. I think Cody Rhodes. He's my pick for Money in the Bank this year. I think he's that guy. I think they're going to start moving him up the card, start putting him in main event feuds.
The heir apparent to CM Punk almost.
Yeah, and he's been around a while, and he's kind of won over the crowd, and I just think he's kind of due right now, and maybe for the next month or two they'll cool him down, just like they do with everyone else, and then start building him back up somewhere around the summertime.
No, I'd agree with that. Anybody else disagree with that?
No, that's pretty solid.
Okay. Next match on the card that I want to discuss is Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. All of us pick Sheamus to hold the belt and keep Daniel Bryan away from it for the World Heavyweight Championship. Daniel Bryan clearly does not need gold to get over on the crowd.
No way. He does not.
Agreed.
So, I mean, Scott, Mike, you guys weren't here on Tuesday. I mean, what do you think? Do you think Sheamus walks away with this one? What do you think, Mike?
I think Sheamus takes it in 2 falls straight.
Really? You don't even think they're
Yeah.
going to do the 1-1 and then? Okay.
No, I think he's going to take him straight. I would be surprised if they do the bro kick again to start off the match. 17 seconds.
Try and beat the wrestler so that way they officially, definitively beat that thing, and
Yeah.
hopefully the guy doesn't ring the bell early again.
Yeah.
What do you think, Scott?
I definitely see Sheamus walking out with the title. I don't think about the 2 straight falls though. I don't think that would help Daniel Bryan much as far as maybe moving on to bigger and better things. But definitely Sheamus, he's going to walk out with the title, and Daniel Bryan just does not need to hold the gold to get over. I mean, you could tell just with the crowd's reaction with him now. He's supposed to be hated, but yet the whole crowd is just going, yes, yes. So.
Yeah. I mean, okay, so here's the thing. Over under a 10-minute match. I got to say under because, it like Mike said, I mean, I don't know if they're going to go 2 straight, but I got to say under 10 minutes just because at this point, you can tell this match was booked before Daniel Bryan was on his meteoric rise. This is where it was supposed to go. Just get him away from there. We got to put him someplace that'll get some major heat. I'm saying under 10 minutes. What do you guys think, Mike?
I think over. I think they'll give them 15 minutes, between 15 and 20 with entrances. There's not too many matches on the
With
card.
entrances.
With entrances, yeah, okay, over for entrances. Without
But I'm giving them 15 to 20. They're not having 6-minute entrances.
they don't have.
Yeah, what do you think this is? Triple H Undertaker?
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
Am I the only one that noticed that the Cell actually got its own entrance music while the guys for the 12-man tag had to share one entrance music?
No, they've been doing that for a while though. The Cell having its own theme. That's been a while. That's been
but they never licensed Metallica to do it.
Metallica played them to the ring.
True.
The Cell, The Rock, and John Cena got celebrities to play them to the ring.
Yeah, but that's because the Cell is actually going over more than the 12 people in that tag match. So
that's fair.
All right, so Daniel Bryan. What do you think, Scott? Over under?
I would say under 10. If WrestleMania is any clue, then I can't imagine them doing more than 10 minutes, especially when they have other matches that would require more time anyway. So I would say under 10.
That's true. I mean, you got the Divas match. It's clearly going to be a 20-minute match.
Oh, clearly.
Joe, over under.
Epic.
I'm going to say over.
Okay, chat's saying over. They're saying maybe 15, 20 minutes is what they're split on. Okay, but either way, I mean, it should be an entertaining match, and I'm just Daniel Bryan. I mean, I think between him and CM Punk, that arena is going to be cracking at the foundation. That crowd is going to be insane. All right, so we discussed it all. I mean, anybody want to talk about the Divas Championship match? I mean, okay, here's the thing. Legitimate discussion for the Divas division. Nikki Bella has the belt, defending against Beth Phoenix. Karma's got to come back at some point. Do you see Karma coming back, destroying Nikki Bella with the belt to get her out of there? I mean, where are you guys?
Tonight?
Not tonight, but just in the immediate future.
Yes, guaranteed.
Okay. Yeah, because that was something Joe brought up on the show, and I wanted to pitch it to Scott and Mike and see what you guys thought. Basically, what we were discussing on Tuesday was the idea that Beth Phoenix is not going to have the belt, Karma's going to get it, and then Beth Phoenix is going to have to take down the monster in order to win the belt back, or something to that effect. Basically, that Karma's going to come back, destroy the Bella Twins, and then take her rightful place as the owner of the Divas belt. I mean, what do you guys think about that? Do you see kind of like are you reading the tea leaves with these matches with Beth Phoenix dropping it and seeing Karma coming back?
Well, it would make the most sense considering how Karma left. I mean, it was the Bellas that was kind of antagonizing her as she was walking out. So it would make the most sense for Karma to ultimately get that kind of revenge back. But I don't know. I mean, it would now be a good time to even bring back Karma.
Now, like this Sunday, or just like in the next couple weeks?
Yeah, like in this Sunday.
This Sunday, bring Karma back at Extreme Rules.
I don't think so personally, but
maybe. Well, Mike, what do you think? I mean, do you think that this is kind of presaging Karma's return?
I'm gonna make a bold prediction here. I think Karma gets released soon.
Really?
I don't even think they bring her back. With what happened with her pregnancy and lying about it, and the fact
Garvin
that you
just
haven't
done pissed himself.
Yeah, that you haven't really heard anything from her. I'm not even sure they'll even bring her back.
I don't. But see, I think it was who actually made that announcement about her baby and the issues, and
she said that she had the baby, and then I believe it was TMZ that broke the story that she lost it.
Right.
Well, it
and that came out right after the Royal Rumble when she made her return, and you haven't heard anything about her since.
No, but they also said there were some issues. She was going to counseling for it because it was such a traumatic thing. Traumatic thing. So maybe that's why she's been off TV. I mean, I don't think they're going to release her. The impact she made when she showed up, it's just too big to ignore. That's just.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I think they would maybe just release her, kind of do like a Daniel Bryan thing where they release her for a few months or a year or so and then bring her back fresh.
Well, you don't think that's kind of
let her kind of like go back into the wrestling world and kind of
fuck around and
regain
regain her footing or so to speak.
It's a big foot.
Yeah. No, I mean, Mike, you don't think that's basically what they've been doing? I mean, the Rumble was like 5 months ago.
Yeah, I think they were ready to bring her back, and then all that stuff came out about her kid, and they scrapped the plans. I really thought that they were going to do a Karma versus Beth Phoenix at WrestleMania, and I think that's the way they were going. But I think they just scrapped it when everything came out.
Well, okay. Here's a point the chat brought up. I would doubt they would release her. The company would look awful if they released her just after she had a miscarriage or whatever you want to call it. I mean, how do you spin that? Can you spin that?
Well, it's been so long since it's happened, and they still haven't released her yet. I think they would maybe release her maybe sometime in the summer after maybe 6 months goes by, and it's a little forgotten about.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, all right. So that's a really good point. I don't know. I'm kind of with Joe. I mean, she made such an impact when she showed up. I can't really imagine that they would. Maybe you're right. Maybe they just release her temporarily. Just out of sight, out of mind. When you come back, we'll let you pick this up. Then again, maybe that's already what happened, and she is coming back. So, maybe that's the case. So, I don't know. All right, so here it is. Elephant in the room. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. I'm just gonna, I no ego. I'm just gonna bring up the point I brought up because it brought up a really good discussion. And I want to see what Scott and Mike think about this.
No ego, but a lot of homo.
Brock Lesnar defeats John Cena. We don't see John Cena for 6 months, and then now Brock Lesnar becomes the face of the company. What do you guys think of that? Because that was a discussion that we had, and I wanted to know what you two thought. I mean, what do you think, Scott?
I wouldn't say 6 months. I mean, knowing the trend of John Cena taking time off or anything of that sort, them taking him off camera, it usually only lasts like 2 weeks to a month. So chances are, if this is kind of what they're going to do with him, he'll be gone for about a month and he'll come right back. And they'll probably end up just picking the feud up where they left off.
Okay. What do you think, Mike?
They don't take the CM Punk Brock Lesnar route.
Okay. What do you think, Mike?
They have a hard time keeping him off TV when he's injured. I don't see them keeping him off TV for 6 months or even a month.
See,
I do think Brock Lesnar is going to beat John Cena. I think Cena will put up a fight, but I think ultimately John Cena will end up putting over Brock Lesnar. But yeah, I don't see Cena going away for too long if he does.
The thing is, though, does Brock Lesnar really need to be put over?
In his first match back, yeah, I think he does.
Oh, no. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, he's got to have the first win. Absolutely. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, after that, does John Cena need to actually give Brock Lesnar any kind of heat?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Because the chat's saying Brock Lesnar basically agreeing with us. Brock Lesnar needs to beat John Cena or it's a waste of time with Brock coming back. The other point of the chat, I love that they do that. Love John Cena taking him off camera would just lose the kids' demographic, in their opinion. They wouldn't last 6 months without Cena. And also remember, Chicago hates John Cena. It's three really good points. Do you lose that demographic with Brock Lesnar, with John Cena not being on there? Maybe. I don't know.
Starting to lose that demographic.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's as impactful as it was maybe like a year ago or 2 years ago. I mean, yeah, you would lose some kids, but I think there's enough, like we were kind of discussing earlier, I think there's enough cartoon-esque characters to keep the kids entertained that Cena taking some time off wouldn't be disastrous. But at the same time, WWE is like, they have so much faith in Cena and his merchandise sales that it's just hard to see them basically take him off camera for more than a month.
And I think what hurts that argument even more with taking him off is that Rey Mysterio has been suspended for another 60 days. He's one of those guys that he does well with the kids. The kids kind of see themselves as Rey Mysterio.
Booyaka, 60 days. Booyaka, booyaka.
I see what you're
Yeah, exactly, Mike. That is a really good point. That they, like the chat's saying, they base the company around Cena, and that's the worrying aspect. It is. It is if you do take Cena off camera, and you don't have Ray to pick it up, and there's really no one as far as that the kids can rally behind. I mean, yeah, Scott does. They do have cartoonish characters. They do have some caricature. Kane, Santino, Brodus Clay. I mean, you can kind of argue that these people are geared a little bit more towards the kids. And maybe WWE's like, look, we got to get Cena off the camp. We got to get Cena off TV. We got to absorb that shock some way. So maybe this is them kind of preparing for that, because you do not take Cena off camera just for shits and grins. I mean, you got to prepare to do that because, like the chat's saying, they've based the company around him. But massive amounts of the crowd, massive amounts of WWE, fans are tired of Cena. I mean, he still gets the boos, he still gets whatever. That's not t-shirt. Those are not t-shirt sales they're getting. Those people are not buying Cena's product. Maybe they'll buy Brock's product. Put him out there.
No, just the crowds look like a fucking rainbow with all the Cena shirts. Yeah, okay. Whatever, dude.
No, I'm just saying. I mean, the average person between 18 and 24, that they're going to buy Brock's shirt. They'll put a Jimmy John's logo on him. They're not going to put a Rise Above logo on him.
Yeah, but that's why they were selling the Cena Sucks shirt.
Yeah, but that really didn't get much traction.
Maybe.
You can't institutionalize, because these guys are like, oh, my opinion is so much better because I'm anti-establishment. You can't sell to them because they think they're too smart, even though they're fucking morons.
I think you are giving them way too much credit.
No, that's the problem. It's a marketing thing. Anyway, okay, so Brock Lesnar wins this match. That's what you guys are saying.
Yes.
Okay, because Kevin, James, and Rob, all three of them disagree. I remember having that argument with them on Tuesday, going, "What are you guys, idiots?" All right, so we're gonna go through our predictions. I'm gonna let you two, do your predictions now for it. The YouTube pre-show: Santino Marella versus The Miz for the WWE US Championship. We didn't even talk about this match. What do you guys think about this match? I mean, YouTube pre-show for the US Championship.
I've heard some of the other complaints about this. Personally, I think it's actually a really good idea. To put championship matches or even big matches on YouTube. They're promoting their YouTube channel and getting a whole new audience that they would not have gotten through standard television. I mean, I know people who don't even have a cable television subscription, but they have Hulu and YouTube. So this is a perfect way to basically market themselves out to the wrestling fans that might be just sick and tired of watching full programming. So I think it's a really great idea for them to do it. As for the match itself, I think it's awesome to have The Miz involved in anything, just period, at this point, because he's been languishing quite a bit recently. Do I see him walking out with the U.S. title? No. I don't think that he needs the U.S. title right now. He needs something else to boost him up, and I think the U.S. title will actually hold him down. So I see Santino winning this. Okay.
Mike, what do you think about it? I mean, they're kicking a match to YouTube.
Yeah, it's a good idea. It reminds me of what they used to do back in the day with the free-for-all on the preview channel. As long as they can keep these kind of decent enough matches, to get people to tune in, I think they'll do really well with it. As long as it doesn't turn into, in 6 months, well, it's going to be Kurt Hawkins versus Hornswoggle on YouTube.
Yeah, that would be
reality
a match
TV show.
for the ages. It's got to be a steel cage match, though.
Yeah, so, well, that's the blow-off match. You don't start with that.
Upper on a pole match?
Oh, Joe, shut up about that damn match. That was a dark time.
Why don't they put Ryback on a pole?
He wants more. Give him more. 6 more inches.
Oh, God.
Hey, Mike, please. Who do you think?
As much as it pains me, I think I'll give Santino the nod tomorrow. Miz doesn't need it. And I think if they were going to have him go over, they would actually put it on the pay-per-view instead of on YouTube.
Okay. Chat is unanimous with Santino, and they noted that Miz main evented Extreme Rules last year. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. The other thing is, this is a good way for, like Scott's saying, this is a good way for WWE to test the waters, because they can actually directly rate, they can actually see the direct ratings of this versus pay-per-view buys and see how much they can, how much money they can make on YouTube.
But how soon do you think they're going to take a risk and actually put a more meaningful
card?
Like an actual, somebody who's above these two guys right now. Because
when are they going to do? So when are they going to do something like put Randy Orton versus Kane on YouTube?
Something like that, yeah.
Not happening.
Yeah, I mean that probably won't happen for a long time, at least until they can get some solid numbers on YouTube.
Yeah,
that would have to be one super card for that to be on the pre-show.
Yeah,
it probably would have worked for WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, with Cena Rock, yeah. I mean, they probably could have done it then, but then again, what you're doing is you're kind of devaluing WrestleMania a little bit there, because WrestleMania is supposed to be the show. Everything happens on WrestleMania. So, all right, Digny Bella versus Beth Phoenix. Yeah, I guess we could do predictions.
Nikki Bella?
Is it Nikki or Brie?
Nick.
Bella.
Definitely not
Bella.
Nikki.
Whatever.
I was going
Bella.
to say, isn't that the dude from Mighty Mighty Boss Tones? That's Dickie Barrett, I'm sorry.
Clap, clap, clap. Okay, who do you
Kevin
think?
would have liked that joke.
Okay, fine. Bella versus Phoenix. Who's winning? Who's walking out with the gold?
I would say Bella.
Okay, Bella, Scott. Joe, Mike.
Well, you already have my prediction.
So you're taking Bella.
Bella.
Oh wow. I'm taking Bella. Mike, who are you taking?
Hold on, I'm getting my prediction from Garvin over the headset. Oh, I'm not using that word to describe them. Come on, Garvin. I'll go with Nikki Bella.
All right. The rumor, basically the rumor is still going on that the Bellas are leaving on Monday. So, if that matters at all, Randy Orton versus Kane, false count anywhere match. Who do you guys taking?
I'll take
Mike?
Randy Orton.
You're gonna take Orton?
Yeah.
All right.
I say
Scott?
Kane.
Scott's taking Kane.
I'm gonna take Kane.
Scott.
Just because his voice has been sexy.
So you got a bro crush on Kane there. That's sweet.
I think a little bit, yeah.
that's sweet. Big Show versus Cody Rhodes. Joe, who are you taking? I'm sorry, Mike, who are you taking?
I'm gonna stick with my pick for the draft. I'm taking Big Show.
Yeah, I was about to say. The thing is,
against myself.
Santino versus Miz. That's going to be Kevin versus Garvin with the draft. No one took Nikki Bella, but Rob took Beth Phoenix. So hopefully Beth wins. For Randy Orton versus Kane, it's me versus me. I come out on top either way. Chat's saying Orton for that match, but and Big Show versus Cody Rhodes. Yeah, this is going to be Mike versus Connor in our draft. Speaking of which, if you want to know anything about the draft, you can head to ftwpodcast.com/draft. See the rules, sign up, see how we're doing, and don't worry, there's going to be plenty of time later on in the show for you guys to trash talk. All right, so Mike's taking Big Show, obviously. Cody Rhodes, Scott, who are you taking?
Big Show.
You're going to take Big Show? All right, Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. This is going to be Mike versus Kevin. Damn, Mike, you are all over this pay-per-view.
Yeah.
You're going to stick with Sheamus?
Yeah.
All right. And Scott, you gonna stick with Sheamus, or are you gonna go with
Sheamus
Bryan?
as well, yes. Sheamus.
All right. Cool. So, okay, so you guys now, are you still going with 2 straight for that, Mike?
Yeah. I think they'll do 2 straight.
All right, cool. Chat saying Sheamus. I don't think anybody really thinks Daniel Bryan needs the title, so good on him. Here we are. CM Punk versus Chris Jericho. Chicago street fight, which I guess just means street fight, but with shitty watered down beer and terrible pizza. For the WWE Championship. This is Amanda took CM Punk and Garvin took Chris Jericho, and of course he took Chris Jericho for this. Who's taking what? Mike?
I'll take Punk.
You're gonna take Punk. You think Punk's gonna win this? Mm-hmm. All right, Scott, you with me and Kev and Garvin?
No, I am taking CM Punk, and fuck you about the pizza. That's damn good stuff.
Yeah, no, I was gonna let that slide. I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh, dude, you're an idiot, Harrison. You're a fucking
deep dish
idiot.
is not pizza. It's basically a loaf of bread with some toppings smeared on top. Ugh.
Said the trendy hipster who only eats thin crust. Go fuck yourself.
Dude, thin crust is the shiznit.
Now,
Make that like
let
a
me
crack.
go get
That
you
is
a delicious Little Caesars.
Yeah, I got a pizza kit in my kitchen. I got a pizza kit in my freezer in the basement. You can have that, Harrison.
Chat saying Punk. So yeah. All right. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. Do you think Brock Lesnar is going to injure John Cena?
No.
Do you think that's in the back of Cena's mind? I really hope he doesn't get. I really hope it doesn't hurt me.
Yeah, I mean, it is possible Brock hasn't worked a match in I think 6 years now or 7 years. I think 2007 was his last match. I mean, that's a long time to go without working.
And it is Brock Lesnar.
I mean, yeah, and he is pretty stiff. So I mean, it is a possibility that Cena could get legit injured, but I don't think he's too. I don't think Cena's too worried about it.
All right, so here we are. So, Mike, you taking Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
All right, Mike. Scott, you taking Lesnar too?
I'm taking Lesnar, but I don't think that this is going to be the decimation that everyone seems to think he is, or what this is. I think Brock Lesnar wins actually by DQ, and I think they actually extend this a little longer.
DQ, really? Lesnar comes back after that hype, after the F5 showing up on Cena.
You know what? I just realized I'm an idiot. It's an Extreme Rules match.
It's an Extreme Rules match.
Damn it.
I know. I shot myself in the foot on that one.
I was getting to that.
I still think that this is a no contest. Or they extend this and they don't have a definitive. Yeah, I know. Sorry. The police are after me. They might have dumped a dead body in a garbage can somewhere. Anyway, but no, I still believe that.
Leave my sister alone.
I'm sorry. She was just attractive. I mean, I can't help that your sister was Katie Vick.
Moving on.
But anyway, to wrap this up, just simply, I don't think this is the end of this. I think that some way this match will be stopped, or Brock Lesnar wins by some kind of mayhem that stops the match.
What do you think about Brock Lesnar just beating John Cena so bad that he just walks away? That he just goes, I'm a fighter, that's good enough for me. And just walks out kind of on his own terms.
TKOs him. Maybe. Chat's saying Brock Lesnar's going to F5 Cena into a table, which is going to happen. But I like the idea, Mike, where Lesnar just decimates Cena.
See, I would love to see him do it where Lesnar stands on the apron and does it off of the ring to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather see that.
That's a lot of clearance, man. That's a lot of clearance. I don't know if that's possible.
Wait.
You don't want to do that on his first match either.
No, not, and especially not Lesnar. No.
I mean, Lesnar can hit the ring apron.
Is there enough space to do that?
There's a lot of guys who have been able to land their backs on that ring apron. Now, I mean, even if Lesnar lands on that and rolls off, just dropping Cena to the floor would be badass.
Mm-hmm.
I think, I mean, hell, you have a table off the side. It's just that depth of the drop.
You don't want to do that crazy of a spot on his first match back, or John Cena's walking out, or not even walking out. He's going to be in a stretcher, legitimately.
Well, then maybe Brock Lesnar could pick up the stretcher and swing it like a baseball bat, like.
Not that way. Yeah.
Because that is one of my favorite wrestling moments of all time.
Yeah, that was pretty badass.
All right, so here we are. Finally, let's close out this show. Match of the night. What do you think match of the night's going to be, Mike?
Sheesh. I'll give it to CM Punk and Chris Jericho.
Okay. Scott?
Gimmick-wise, obviously, you're going to have Lesnar and Cena, but wrestling talent-wise, I actually think that Sheamus and Daniel Bryan are going to actually put on a real good clinic that night. So, and it's sad for me to pick my, someone else other than my hometown hero, but unfortunately, I think they got screwed over at WrestleMania so bad that now they're actually going to have an opportunity to wrestle a legitimate match.
All right, Joe.
I think it's going to be Santino Miz. No, I'm kidding. No, it's going to be Sheamus Daniel Bryan. I think that's going to be the match of the night.
All right. I gotta agree. Sheamus and Daniel Bryan. Although I think crowd-wise, that crowd is just going to be insane for Punk versus Jericho. And
absolutely.
Both guys are really good about working the crowd, so that might be the dark horse. I mean, that also might be the match of the night just for that alone. That kind of X factor of how the crowd's going to react. But on paper, yeah, Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan, especially with the yes chance, that's gonna be insane. Chat's also saying Punk versus Jericho. I think that's a good call with the thing. All right, so if you want, as always, you can find. Oh, I'm sorry. Everyone should have their plugs in. Scott, if people want to find more about you, the world that is Scott, how do they do it?
There's too many places to find me, actually, but centralizing it all in one place, the best place to find me is at my Minecraft podcast, which is www.lethalinjectionpodcast.com, acronym to LIMP. So that's probably going to be the best place to find everything that I'm involved with. So,
okay, Mike, if anybody wants to find out about you, where do they do?
You go to pwtorch.com. I review SmackDown every week for them. Look for my review on Saturdays or Sundays, normally when they get posted up. You can also follow me on Twitter at MJQPAC. That's MJCUPACH. And I'm also featured frequently on Amber Alerts.
I see what you did there. Nice.
God. All right. As always.
Why do those crazy things have to end my dates early?
Yeah, you got to get them in by 10 for the bedtime. As always, you can find this episode as well as our entire archive at FTW Podcast, the newly redesigned FTWpodcast.com. You can check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/FTW Podcast, twitter.com/FTW Podcast, youtube.com/the FTW Podcast. You can voicemail us at 313-444-FTW4. That's 313-444-3894. Hit us up with questions at FTWpodcast.com. Thank you everyone in the live chat. We really appreciate you guys showing up. And we record every FTW Podcast episode on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. at FTW Podcast/live. Rate us on iTunes, buy some merch, and definitely join us in the draft. It's going to be awesome. Sorry. And with that closing out, see you guys next Tuesday.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Pretty mouth.